right.
Welcome back, guys. Tim and Joe's Awesome Podcast. Glad you're here. It's going to be a good one. The topic, Joe?
Yeah, today we're talking chance encounters. What are the strangest strangers that are still living rent-free in your head?
But before we get to that,
Okay.
a little bit of banter. Let me just tell you, Joe left the topic in a very unusual place.
Okay,
I got a text saying this week's topic is at the left foot of the Tin Man in Bernheim Forest.
Well, and speaking of chance encounters, I mean, just running into you as I was leaving Bernheim Forest was delightful.
Yes. So that text did come after I bumped into you.
Yeah.
It wasn't quite.
It was a chance
out of
encounter.
nowhere, but it was a chance
I think
encounter,
I think it solidified the topic.
Man, what a good topic. I've certainly been thinking about it. But you should know the story. I haven't told you yet.
Yeah.
And I'm not just saying that for the podcast. I really haven't told you.
No,
yet.
I don't know
This
what happened here.
So you left around 2:30.
Okay.
And I arrived around 2:30.
Okay. Chance
and
encounter.
then chance encounter. And then I was there with a bunch of people. I was there with the Eubanks. I was there with
What a crew.
the Mias. It
Keeps getting better.
So we hung out very briefly at the playground, and then we did a little hike down to Ness, the little baby giant.
Oh, I love that.
And then we did some tag in the field back there,
Nice.
and it was very fun. All I have to say is that the park closes at 5. No big deal. I'm gonna make it to the Tin Man. Tin Man's a new exhibit sculpture.
So I told you as I was leaving, I had one quick stop before I left. I was going to go visit the Tin Man, a 27-foot Tin Man from Wizard of Oz that's in Bernheim Forest, which is remarkable. It sounds like you've seen it. So
I
it
did
is
end up
remarkable.
seeing it.
Okay.
I saw
All
it
right.
also brief. It was very brief. I'll have to go back.
I told you I'll leave you a message at, I guess I just said the left foot.
The left foot of the
left
Tin
foot.
Man. That's right.
Yes, and I've never seen the Tin Man. I assumed he had a left foot.
And you were right.
I was right.
You were right.
I get it's intuition.
So we get back to the playground at 4, and I tell everybody, like, hey, guys, I have to go to the Tin Man. Joe has left me a note at the Tin Man's foot. And we're asking around at the playground to strangers, anybody know how to get to the Tin Man? This dude's like, oh, yeah, it's just you take a left right here.
Yeah.
However, they've gated it off at 4 o'clock. You can't get up there because they're trying to get people slowly out of the park. So there's no way to get to the Tin Man.
Oh, well, that's not a problem for you, right?
So,
surely not.
So Lee Mia said, I'll be the lookout. Because, they are definitely aggressively getting people out of their park in the nicest way, but they definitely want to go home to their families. But Jake and I hopped over the fence, the gate, and we started walking.
Okay.
And it's a bit of a hike up there, 4 o'clock. The other thing is that Stephanie for weeks had been planning a date. So it was like, hey, we have a hard out at 5 to get home to do this date.
And it's 4 o'clock now.
And it's 4 o'clock, 4:15.
Not a problem.
Right there. Anyway, so we hop over the fence. We get to walking. And man, Jake and I just hanging out. We're chit-chatting. As you'll remember from your drive, the Tin Man's back there.
Yeah.
Tin Man's not right there at the gate. He is in the forest.
Where he belongs.
That's
right.
right.
Next to the yellow brick road.
I think we need to get him an oil can. He was not moving. But we walked back there. And we walked back there, and we kept walking back there. And we just expected, at any moment, a park ranger is going to stop us, right? Sure enough, car pulls up. I'm like, Jake, here's what we say.
Lee was supposed to be lookout here. What happened?
So Lee, bless his heart, his story is that he missed the turn. I don't know how you can do that. It's the first turn. And he said he was going to loop. But I don't think he looped. I think he just kept going.
I'm getting out of here.
I got it. So, anyways, this car is pulling up, and the idea was to say, hey, my friend left something at the left foot of the Tin Man, and he asked if I could go get it.
All true.
That was the story.
That's not even a story.
Yeah, but that's true. But it does sound like you left, your wallet. But we were, whatever. So this person pulls up, but instead of acting like, oh my gosh, we're caught, I was waving her down. I was like, over here.
Get ahead of it. Yeah.
That's right. Get over here. So she pulls up and she's like, "Are you guys okay?" I'm like, "Oh my gosh, is the Tin Man close? A friend of mine left something at his foot, and I'm supposed to go get it." She's like, "Oh well, I'm actually the artist, the resident artist of Bernheim right now." So
She didn't make the Tin Man, right?
she didn't make the Tin Man. She's doing. I don't. Maybe she is, but she's doing photos at night of all the animals. She's doing some cool photography.
Cool. Okay.
She's like, "Well, I wish I could tell you." And listen, she has enough common sense not to invite two total strangers into her car. But she's like, I don't know where the Tin Man is because I'm new here.
Where was the gate? Where was the gate?
The gate was right when you turn left. There's like a little pavilion off down the culvert a little bit.
Oh no!
And then there's the gate.
I didn't expect the gate to be right there.
It's
probably
not 200 feet past the turn. And you still have probably
this is an absolute hike.
You probably have
a mile.
Probably a mile. Probably more than a mile because it took us about. It's probably a mile and a half. If I'm really thinking about
One way.
It's probably a mile and a half.
That makes sense. It is back there.
So this woman, so she's so kind though. She's like, "Oh, yeah, well, I know it's down there. I don't know where it is though." Okay. Well, thank you so much. And she zooms off. So we keep walking. We're still walking. We just do the walk. We keep walking. Then she comes back and she's like, "Hey, I was just at the Tin Man. I looked everywhere. I didn't see anything, you know?" I was like, "Oh, well, actually, it's a note at the left foot that my buddy left to tell me what the podcast is for next week."
You were hoping not to have to say this.
But she's an artist. She was like, "You didn't tell me it was a secret note." She's like, "Listen, you're almost there. It's a little bit farther. You can make it." I was like, "I don't know if we're gonna make it." "You can make it." I was like, "The park is closing because now it is."
Yeah.
Now it is like 4:50, and we are.
You're not gonna hit your 5 o'clock. You've already made peace with that.
I'm like,
to carry on at this point.
If the cops come, tell them to just take me in because I don't want to go.
I don't want to face that'd be better than what I'm up against.
So, anyways, but she's like, "You could do this. Go." So, anyways, I tell Jake like, "Hey, I think I'm gonna run ahead."
You're running now.
And I'm gonna see if I. So there's the Tin Man. I run over there.
Like a beacon, like a lighthouse.
Oh my gosh. I was so glad to see that guy. He's still there.
Truly mesmerizing. A beautiful creature in the woods.
I didn't look too much.
Just
I was
the left
just
foot.
going quick. But then I went to the left foot and I couldn't find it because you had hidden it in plain sight.
Well, I didn't want anybody to.
What did you write it on?
Some tree bark.
Tree bark.
I wanted it to. It's all about. I just wanted it to be natural. I wanted it to blend in. What do you? I don't want to litter. What do I write it on receipt? You know what I mean?
It's a good point.
We're in Bernheim.
So I'm looking around. I'm like, I don't see a note. And she told me I didn't see anything. But then I found the little piece of bark that you'd written it on. I was like, oh, okay, chance encounters. Amazing. And it was perfect because like Burn After Reading or like Mission Impossible where the tape self-destructs.
Yeah.
I put it in my pocket, and by the time that we had run back, it had totally disintegrated. Absolutely disintegrated. It was like perfect. So anyways, we did get back. My wife gave me that look, and I had already told Jake. And so Jake and I just laughed quite a bit about that look. And we still made it to the date night. We were a little rushed, but we still made it to the date night just on time. It all worked out. But what an epic journey.
You knew the assignment. Way to go. I love it. I love it. That was, I'm impressed. I thought that there was a chance that the note wasn't going to stick around, and I may have been less encouraging if I had been in that car, but you had the right person at the right time.
We need to get her on the podcast.
Don't give up.
We need to get her on the podcast.
Yeah. Artist in residence. We'll find her.
Yeah.
We'll find her. I got to see those pictures.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Well, you got it. So it was Chance Encounters. That's the topic for today.
Yeah.
The thing that really started this for me is that a brand new documentary came out.
Ooh, tell us more.
On HBO. And I knew it was about a case that you had some familiarity with, right? Because we've talked about this case before.
Yes.
I have my own very minor connection to the documentary, but nothing like you, right? And so the documentary is called Murder in Glitterball City. It's on HBO. It's definitely worth a watch. It's a really good whodunit. And if you're from Louisville, you'll really enjoy it. If you're not from Louisville, you may think that we have the most berserk people who live here imaginable.
Yeah.
They were having some fun with Louisvillians, and at their expense, in my opinion,
yeah. All right.
in some ways. But it's a great documentary about what they called the he said murder, right? Because two companions, two men, both who were living together, there was a body in their basement, and they both pointed the fingers at each other. In the documentary, they actually show you the interrogations, them saying basically the exact same story, just replacing the other person's name in the series of events. But I knew you knew one of the people who came into the coffee shop. So how do you know him?
Yeah, so Munt was our regular at the coffee shop, and I did read up. I haven't watched the documentary, but I was reading up on it. And it was like, whoa, because I remember when the story broke, because the day before, Munt, who's a regular at the coffee shop, quad shot on ice. That's what he got every time.
That's a maniac's order.
That is.
If I had known that going into the documentary, I'd been like, he did it.
Yeah, he did it. Quad shot on ice. That dude is, hopped up, ready to go. He always was dressed to the nines, nice shoes, spiky hair. And my buddy Asa had just moved like the week before. And so the day before he got arrested, Munt did, Asa had mentioned, because we always chit-chat with the regulars, that he had moved and he was looking for some couches and some furniture. And so Munt had said, oh, well, me and my partner, we are always flipping houses. And so we've got a ton of furniture down in the basement. You should come over and just take your pick.
He invited you into the basement.
Well, he invited Asa into the basement. He invited Asa, and Kenny was there. And so I found out later, because I was working the next day, and then they were like, you wouldn't believe this. The dude was just arrested, and Asa almost went to his basement to get stuff. But Asa was like, no, I just don't think so. And it wasn't anything suspicious. It was just like, with a regular, you keep them in that warm, regular distance. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not coming to your basement, picking out furniture. I'm not doing that.
Dude's got good instincts, man. I think he can rely on his instincts for sure.
Yeah, I think it was the next day it broke that they had found the body
in the basement.
So yeah. Tell us a little bit more about the ins and outs of that.
Yeah, so Katie and I went on a old Louisville ghost tour a couple, probably 10 years ago. And the guy who actually gave us the tour wrote a book about this, and HBO based their documentary around the book that he wrote. And from what I remember, him telling us was that the body was discovered, and the documentary goes into a lot of this too. The body was discovered after one of them had been arrested for domestic violence, and in the cop car on the way over, the guy who's going to jail basically just throws everything at the wall, and says, there is a body in my basement, and my partner's done it. So they bring in the partner, and the partner says, you know what, actually the other guy did it, and there's only circumstantial evidence. There's nothing to be able to determine who did it. But they, in the middle of the night, right after that arrest, they go, I think it's 2 a.m, they spend all night digging up the basement, which was scheduled to be concreted over in the next immediate future.
I didn't know that.
Yes, so they brought the concrete guy on, and that was one thing I learned from the tour, in that, they were going to basically entomb this body, and how much more difficult it would have been to get to the bottom of this that happened. But basically, you've got 2 people, one of them punk rock, criminal history, fits the bill, looks the look of somebody who is just a loose cannon, right? And then you've got Mr. Quad Shot on Ice, Jeffrey Munt, who is like IT manager vibe. He's got like a LinkedIn profile headshot. It looks very professional, you know. And they try them separate. And they've got to determine, you know, well, who was really responsible for this?
Yeah.
But they charge them both with the exact same 3 crimes, which is around like murder in the first degree, tampering with physical evidence, and maybe one other lesser charge. Right.
And the dude was killed. Like they were. So there's a third dude. He was killed during a menage a trois. Right.
That's right. That's right.
And somebody, while something was happening, shot this dude in the neck. Is that what happened?
He was shot and stabbed in the neck, and then placed in a 50-gallon Tupper container, basically, right? And then buried in the basement.
So they
and that was 6 months before everything unfolds.
And both of them broke the dude's bones, so he was foldable into this container.
Yeah.
But we really just don't know who fired the shots and who stabbed the dude.
Well, and we don't know who placed him in the container, because they're both going to say the other person did that. And they're both going to say that the only reason that they had to keep their mouths shut is because they were under constant surveillance and pressure from the other to stay silent, and that it was their own lives at stake, basically, to stay silent. Okay? So, you know, a lot to unpack there. You were seeing Mr. Munt every day, you know, Mr. Quad Shot on Ice. They were under a lot of drugs, by the way. Okay. Meth was the drug of choice. Does that track for you?
You know, I mean, I guess I wouldn't have guessed that. Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy how people can present. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
I couldn't, because I was only watching through the lens of what you had told me. And you had told me a lot of different pieces that make appearances in the documentary. And they all check out. Munt was telling the truth about so many things.
Yeah.
But was it him or was it his partner? Because you told me one of the first times that Munt gets in trouble with law enforcement is some counterfeit bills.
Yeah.
In Chicago, you told me. You told me this before the documentary even comes out. And they go in depth on this.
Yeah.
And the documentary does present it as if Munt was the instigator in the counterfeit bills.
Wow.
And he told you the exact opposite, right?
Yeah, and we didn't even know. He just was there every day. And then for like a week, maybe 2 weeks, he didn't come in.
Yeah.
So you wonder, what happened to my regular? He came in. We were like, oh, man, where you been? We haven't seen you in like 2 weeks. He's like, oh, my gosh. I was up in Chicago. You wouldn't believe how stupid my boyfriend is. He had counterfeit bills, and they caught him with it. And I told him, I don't know anything about that. I don't know. So, yeah.
Sure. So, and it is true that the partner, his name is Joey. He does take the fall for this. Now, he's in life for prison without the possibility of parole, and he's in the documentary.
His trial didn't go so well.
Now, he had a criminal history. Again, he looks the look, and I feel like that may have been his downfall, in my opinion, because there's a lot of signals that really he was in a bit of a domestic, definitely power dynamic, relationship. One of the reasons they know that, you'll see in the documentary, is there is a lot of footage of the two of them just hanging out.
Hanging out of the park? Or?
Hanging out of the house.
Oh.
Just maybe they're on like a meth binge, whatever they're doing. But at some point, Joey decides that he's going to start filming things because he seems to be a little scared about Munt.
Wow.
And so some of it's in secret, some of it's not.
Man, I gotta watch this.
You'll see in the very opening segment of the documentary, you will see Joey talking to camera, saying, I had no idea. My boyfriend had nothing to do with a murder, and it was all me. And the only reason he hasn't spoken was because I've been threatening to kill him, and I have a gun pointed at him right now. And he shows the gun in the documentary. He shows he's pointing it right at him. He pans the camera, and then it cuts off. And that is the recording.
Pretty on the nose.
Pretty on the nose, right? That's enough to get him locked up for life.
Man.
But what isn't shown is that he secretly or mistakenly took 2 other recordings where he walks up to Munt and just says, man, I did my best on that recording. Did I get you what you need? And he says, yep.
Wow.
Right? So I don't know. I think we'll never know. But Munt is now out of jail, right?
Yeah.
He served a few years.
I think, I got out in 23, it looked like.
Because he was just convicted for, like, tampering with evidence, maybe, like, improperly disposing of a body, that kind of thing, but not murder. Right?
Bum, bum, bum.
It is salacious. You will see, I mean, because they're really into some very kinky type of things, and they have videos of these interactions, and you are forced to watch them. And mostly in the documentary, you're seeing the perspective of the courtroom watching this, and you're hearing the audio. But you can see there's definitely, it feels like there's some power dynamics that are at play. So
wow, yeah, that was definitely a chance encounter.
that's somebody you won't soon forget, right?
No,
Jeffrey Munt.
No, I won't. Man, that's crazy.
It's crazy, right? Yeah. Murder in Glitterball City.
Crazy. Well, I'm going to piggyback on that. I know that was my chance encounter. I want to give you one more.
Yeah, let's hear it.
That's morbid and wonderful.
You got another one of these?
Oh, it's tremendous.
Who was coming to this coffee shop?
Well, this was different. So this was my folks had taken us, me, my brother, on a cruise, and the cruise took off of Venice, Italy, and then we went to Greece and stuff, and we came back to Venice. So we had some days in Venice on the front and the back. It was beautiful, beautiful time. It's been about 20 years.
Ooh, I haven't even heard about this.
Maybe 15. I don't know. Something like. Anyways. So it just so happened in Venice was like the big art festival at the same time. And so like we had a day on the front, we had 2 days on the back. I can't remember exactly how it shook out, but like me and my brother were like, Mom, Dad, we'll see you. We're gonna just like wander. Now Venice, of course, is kind of like a maze. I don't know if you've been to Venice,
never.
but small town. You're just walking, you just take a left here, right here, and it's not like a real left. It's like veer. Sure. You know what I'm saying? Beautiful European city. And there's art exhibits here, and there's art exhibits there. And Christopher and I are instinctual to, like, if it's, you know how a city has a feng shui, right? Anything has a feng shui. Like, you're designed to proceed this way.
Should I be saying feng shui as feng shui?
Maybe I'm saying, I guess it's feng shui.
I don't know.
Putting the fun back in feng shui. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Well, so we're inclined, if you're going straight, to always just turn. Like, we're just inclined to go against the grain on that. So we're, in our way, weaseling our way through Venice, and we end up, and then we also have these eyes for, like, what is this, right? So it was, giant statues here, paints up there, murals up here. It was, and it's not like a museum. This is like a gallery. So it's like all current artists, everybody trying to outdo each other, bigger, better, crazier, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we wind through the city, and then we get kind of lost. It's easy to get lost, but you're going to find your way. But you get a little lost, and when suddenly we're like way out from wherever that art exhibit stuff is. Like, these are quiet streets. This is a quiet Venice. We're walking around, and there is a little shop that has like, it's white, so it's big glass windows, little tiny shop, and it's got like stuff written on the outside of it. And we're peeking inside, and there's nobody inside. It's just like a wall full of, somebody had written stuff, words, and all 3 of the walls, the 4th wall being the glass entrance. And there's a little pedestal with like a little tin box on it, right? And it's weird enough in this kind of quiet area to be like, what is this, you know? Anyways, Italy, people take lunch breaks. And when they take a lunch break, they take a lunch break. So we didn't realize it, but this was lunch break time. And so nobody was in there. But the woman comes back. She's like, oh, are you guys here for the art exhibit? We're like, yeah, art exhibit. This didn't know it was happening here. She's like, oh, yeah, please come in. So we walk in, and she's like, okay, so this is an installation from this artist. I can't remember his name. He likes to really get to know a person, and then he creates an art exhibit around that person. So this person here, that our artist has partnered with. He finds people especially who have a terminal illness. That's important.
Okay.
So find people who have a terminal illness, and then he learns as much about them as possible, and then he creates an art installation about them. So if you can see here, this man grew up in Africa, and in Africa they have the big three, which is like you have to kill a lion, you have to kill an elephant, and you have to kill a caribou or something like that. And so here's like writing about the story of how his dad promised he would kill all three with him, but he only got 2 out of 3. And then about, isn't that life? Our greatest adventures, we do have these moments where we kill the lion, we kill the elephant, but we never got to the third. But life moves on.
That's Meatloaf. 2 out of 3 ain't bad, right?
Oh, there you go.
You know?
There you go. Yeah, Meatloaf probably was at this exhibit at some point. And so then, just through the life, then he moves to London and he meets a beautiful woman, and then they have kids, and he wanted to have the kids, but now they're not in Africa, they're in London. There's no way they're going to get even one of the big 3. She tells us like this dude's whole life story, and she's like, and he's partnering with somebody else now. This man has passed away, and we were like, oh yeah, well, absolutely, yeah, it's cool. So what's in the tin box on the pedestal? What's in the tin box? She was like, oh, that is part of his artistry. Is he has the person who he's working with donate a body part, and we were like,
no,
what? Yes,
no.
So,
it sounded like such a good deal for my legacy before you dropped that bomb on me. Like, okay, wait, what's the last step?
So she's like, yeah, so in this one, we're like, well, what's in the box? She's like, it's his hand. And we were like, my brother and I were like, it's his hand.
Italy's different, man.
Now it's different. I don't know. Now, I don't remember her saying this, but Christopher swears that she said that he had taken that man's hand, put the paintbrush in it, and had written the whole thing because he wanted it to be so authentic that this man was writing his life story with his hand. I don't remember that part.
That wouldn't work, would it?
If you call my brother, well, so, but we can both agree that there was a tin box on a pedestal in the middle of the thing. And I said, oh, can we see it?
Of course. You made it this far.
She was shocked. She was like, you want to see it? I was like, well, yeah.
Has she seen it?
I don't know. But yes, so she lifts open the lid of this tin box, and there, from like just below the elbow.
That's more than I expected.
Is, yeah.
That's hand and arm.
Hand and arm. And it's in like a liquid, like formaldehyde. I don't know what it was. To where when she lifted it up, the water swished, or the formaldehyde swished, and his arm hair was just swaying in the waves of this kind of stuff, and it was tremendous.
I can't believe it.
It was tremendous.
You will never forget this man. You know about his life. You've seen his arm, and that was enough to live rent-free. That's the strangest encounter I could ever imagine.
It was pretty crazy.
This is crazier than Quad Shot on Ice.
Somewhere out there, because then we said, oh, well, you did tell us he's working with somebody else. She said, yes, he's working with this man. He's an alcoholic, and he's hoping to donate his pancreas or his liver or something like that. His liver. And then we were like, wow, this has been tremendous. Do we pay? She's like, no. This is just, it's art. You don't pay. But we felt compelled. But in our pants, each of us had like €1, So we were like, can we give you €2? She was like, okay, I'll take this for luck. And I think about that often. Of course, I think about the hand. But I often think about the little, because, it's easy to be a penny pincher. It's easy to budget everything. And then you find 50 cents in your pocket, right? And you're like, that's not... We literally don't have pennies anymore.
Yeah.
But when I find 2 quarters in my pocket, I'm like, this is for luck. You know what I'm saying?
That's really good. That is really good. Phenomenal. Wow.
So it's on the morbid train.
That's on the man. I love it. I mean, in a lot of ways, it is very life-giving for this man's memory. The hand, hey, it's a choice. That's a choice. Hand and arm. Let's not shortchange him.
Yeah, part of that arm made it. Part of that arm, bone, muscle,
Wow. I mean,
a lot.
it's being preserved in a manner that is like it's in formaldehyde, but like it's in a little wooden box that swishes. Swishes?
Yeah, there was some swishing. Yeah.
Wow. Surely she must have known someone was going to ask. She's seen the art.
I don't know if she was horrified or thrilled. Like, it was one of, that face is kind of the same. It's like, and it all happened so quick. Maybe she was like, somebody has to see this hand. Or maybe she was like, you're a monster.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's terrific.
Well,
man, that certainly qualifies. Wow.
Yeah,
You've nailed Chance Encounters.
And then we tried to go back there the next day, but there was no way to find your way back.
Sure. You're telling everybody about this arm. You had the whole crew. They wanted to see this arm.
Well, I think at least we wanted to prove to them that this was a true story,
Yeah.
I don't think my mom would have asked to see the dude's hand. But yeah, as try as we might, we were like, wait, it was the left here, and then it was, left, right. All the houses look the same. Oh, my gosh. So, yeah, we can never find
That is the best, and that is my favorite thing to do when exploring a city is just get lost.
Yeah.
Well done, man. Always pays off.
Man, it does.
Every time.
Every time. I got to give you a hand, bro.
You did, bro.
Yeah.
You did. Wow.
All right, what about you?
And I can't even come near that, but I sometimes wonder if I've been the guy who's
I'm sure you've come there. I'm sure you've come there.
And I would love to ask you about that too. If we have time, I've got to, because I'm sure we both have. But
sometimes you think you're the guy that donated a hand?
No.
Oh.
No. I mean, I'm not against it.
Yeah.
I'm not against it. I'm not asking for anything terminal, but what a way to go,
Yeah.
No, have you ever been the guy that's just like, wow, that was a weird encounter? I've definitely been that guy. It's like, what?
Yeah.
What's that?
Give me an example.
Man, oh my God. Well, one that comes to mind, I was not prepared for that, but.
Do we need to take a moment? We can take a moment.
I think when those encounters, I'm probably the guy they'd soon rather forget than the one that.
No.
I remember when I was in high school, I used to ask to go to the bathroom and then do an entire lap around. I mean, I love meandering.
Yeah.
And so I would never use the restroom, and I would just do a lap. And I had a little game when I got to the dark ROTC hallway.
Okay.
That was always like, pretend I'm Army Man. So I'd be in the hallway by myself, and I would turn the corner, and as soon as I turned the corner, I would just like start army crawling or something. You know what I mean?
On the ground?
I'd be army crawling, inching on the ground, and like a cartoon, I'm inching on the ground, and I like run in to some boots. I look up, here's the ROTC guy, and he's just like, get up. Like, so I don't know if that, I mean, like, just his demeanor was just like, what on earth are you doing? What is wrong with the youth in the world?
Oh, man.
Yeah, and so like that's when I'm just like, man, I wonder if he thinks about that as much as I do, because that was.
I hope he does.
I hope so. I think it was good for him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm surprised he didn't just recruit you on the spot, like, bro, now that's an army crawl. That's an army crawl. Step into my office.
You don't know if you're ready for RTC unless you try it out. I just like to dip my toes in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It seems pretty serious once you get in there, so it's not the kind of thing that you want to be halfway in, halfway out once you get in. That guy was kind of mean. It wasn't for me.
Yeah.
I still enjoy an army crawl every once in a while.
Yeah. Yeah. When's the last time you army crawled?
Last time I army crawled, have you been to Activate?
Yes.
It's a pretty important part.
You've been training for it all your life.
Oh, yeah, it's nothing. Well, especially when I'm in Activate, usually I'll take the roll technique rather than the army crawl technique.
All right.
And sometimes I do that down the hallway, too. It just so happened that I was a bootlicker right then and there. I was literally a bootlicker. Okay, that's a huge tangent. Okay, the best thing I can do that even comes close to your experience is probably at least 10 years ago, there was a Groupon online for a chance to hold and interact with exotic monkeys. Okay.
Whoa.
It's problematic.
Here in Louisville?
Here in Louisville.
Wow.
In southern Indiana, actually.
Wow, okay.
But it's problematic. I didn't think much about it. I've reflected on it. It's maybe not the best thing to do if you see that kind of thing. But I thought very little about it at the time. Yeah. I bought the Groupon, showed up, And we go to this compound in southern Indiana that is completely off the beaten path. I couldn't even tell you how we got there, but it was different than I expected.
Yeah.
When we arrived, there were so much more than monkeys. There were like tigers and lions
Yeah.
and alligators and basically anything that didn't belong in southern Indiana was there. And we're like waiting around figuring out like what do we do? Like there's like a shed, there's like a room, there's like what's next? And there's a guy in there who starts talking to us about all of his animals. And this is his giant collection of animals.
Wow, okay.
And he has so many animals that clearly he can't advertise on Groupon. So much more than monkeys.
But he wants to show them all to you.
He wants to show them all to us. And we're not really sure if it's a brag or a warning or or what's going on here. But one thing that stood out that we weren't expecting is he used the N-word.
No.
And he was white.
Okay.
Which I'm sure I probably already told you that when I told you he collects tigers.
Yeah. I was picturing some Caucasian.
Yeah, you nailed it.
You know, the European bloodline,
it breeds people who breed tigers.
It does. It does. I don't know of any other bloodline. I can say because I'm part of that bloodline. I'm finding dismembered
There's
arms.
an urge. There's an urge.
There's something in there.
Most of us can move on from that urge. We should not.
But not all of us.
Collect. Listen, my last name is Newland. I've got urges sometimes. All right. Collecting tigers isn't one of them. Forgive me. But this guy collected tigers in rather small, like enclosures.
Okay.
Definitely man-made enclosures. Yeah. You know what I mean? Somebody in Portland could make a tiger enclosure, I've learned. For sure. Just made of a collection of rope at times.
Oh my
Chain link at times. I don't know, vinyl siding at times.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, this thing was rinky-dink.
Yeah.
I mean, anyways, so by the time we're not sure, like,
are
we going to be tiger food here?
Did you take the kids?
No. This was before kids, for sure.
Before
This is before kids. We do the monkey thing. The monkeys are fun. They climb all over us. There's all different kinds of monkeys. Monkeys I've never seen before.
Anybody else on the tour?
There were other people. Other people showed up. This is like an unair-conditioned room, though, where you sit down, you sit crisscross applesauce, you sit in a big circle, and then they open up a door, and monkeys run in. And the monkeys, you're really just supposed to sit there with your hands to yourself, and you let the monkeys do what monkeys do. And they climb all over you, they jump from one person to the other, and they go crazy.
How big are these monkeys?
Some of them were really small. Some of them were like, how much do you know about monkeys?
Not a lot.
Then this is going to stall out pretty quick.
Okay.
But, so they ranged from this size.
Love that you know a lot about monkeys, though.
I know nothing about monkeys. I'll show up for a monkey, but they range from this size
So that's like 6 inches for our auditory listeners.
to standing erect here, maybe?
Yeah, maybe 3 feet.
Maybe less than 3 feet.
2.5.
A 3-foot monkey standing on its feet would actually be like kind of crazy,
Maybe
like a toddler.
2.5.
Yeah, 2.5 feet
Wow.
to 10 inches, these monkeys. Okay. We do that. We go home. We think about it a lot, but we don't really think about the guy in the documentary. Well, he was in the parking lot.
Yeah.
Until we see a documentary. 2020, COVID.
Uh-huh.
We're watching this documentary without toilet paper, I'm sure. And Tiger King.
That was the dude?
It wasn't the main character, but it was the character adjacent.
Oh,
it was
I
like
gotcha.
They were all. I mean, it's a very niche. Like if you collect tigers,
Yeah.
then they're all friends, and so they're all. Each one of them's crazier than the last. And the guy in the documentary Tiger King was probably the craziest of all. But this guy Tim Stark was right there with him, and he was bizarre. And he's in the documentary. And as soon as we saw him, we thought, that is the guy.
Oh my God.
That is the guy. He used the N-word. We weren't sure what to do.
Yeah.
And you don't forget somebody like that.
You don't.
No, you don't.
Wow. So you met Tim Stark and literally played with his monkeys.
We played with Tim Stark's monkeys. And then we saw him on Tiger King. And he's since had 160 animals seized from him. He's no longer allowed to own exotic animals.
He's sad he was in that documentary.
Yeah, he's in the documentary along with all of the salacious misappropriation of funds and everything else he was doing. Basically, he's doing everything except feeding his tigers properly, apparently. So,
wow.
Yeah, Tim Stark.
Man. That's crazy.
That's crazy. He's a crazy guy.
I'm glad that tiger didn't get through the vinyl siding.
It was a matter of time. It was a matter of time.
Man.
Yep. So, man, that's mine. All right, I got to ask you now. Okay, so let me do this.
Okay.
Because another thing I thought about with this whole topic was the old Craigslist ads. I loved Craigslist. I'm a big Craigslist guy.
Yeah.
Misconnections.
Yes.
You remember
I love misconnections.
Misconnections where like you met somebody in like the Walmart tires.
It was a simpler time.
It was like just this serendipitous meeting.
Yeah.
But since it has become an infatuation and you decide to put out on Craigslist, mostly men who probably really fantasized about whatever this was, and mostly women probably who never read these because they were actually terrified of the encounter. So
Sure. I think that's accurate.
That's accurate.
And it's discontinued. Craigslist has discontinued
It's
their
sad, really.
misconnections.
It's sad. I actually have some, not misconnections, I have some great stranger encounters from Craigslist, which are awesome because I loved Craigslist. But what is your best, give me your best missed connections ad right here for, who are we doing here? Jeffrey Munt? Are we doing the hands?
Man.
Give me your best.
Yeah.
Give me something.
All right. That's a curveball. I haven't thought about that.
That's a curveball.
At all. Misconnections.
It always starts.
This will be funny.
Okay,
this
let's
will be
hear
funny.
it. Let's hear it.
So I was in New York, just doing anything except for plasma, and I gave plasma. I tried to get plasma in LA, but New York, I hadn't gotten that smart yet. But I was also helping build sets. I was like, let's build a photo set. I don't really even know what I'm doing, you know? And so a friend of mine had hired me on to build a set for a photo shoot with Martha Stewart.
Oh,
for Thanksgiving.
I'm learning so much from this episode.
Incredible woman for all she's done.
You met Martha Stewart.
Yes.
Tim.
I mean, we had a few words. We didn't chit-chat.
Are you living rent free in her head?
No.
Oh, don't.
But yes, let me give you a misconnection because I'm sure I'm living rent free in her head. It wasn't the warmest of interactions, but here it goes. Misconnections. Single white female. When you picked up the stuffing, and I'm going to read it kind of like a beatnik poet because it helps me. I saw you reach out and pick up a handful of Thanksgiving stuffing. It must have been cold as it hit your lips. I couldn't help but ask, is it any good? And you said, it tastes like stuffing. When you heard the nail guns and hammers, you said, can they quiet down? But I wonder if you could say, would you come around? And then I'll leave my phone number right there.
Beautiful. Off the cuff. Amazing. That's very good. That is a very typical misconnection.
Yeah.
It's the most mundane interaction. Hey, can you keep that down? It's like, but I know what you really wanted to say.
And they're always so hyper specific. To the girl in knee-high boots on the L train at 12:35.
Yep.
With the curly hair, I saw you for the slightest moment glance at my Mario Brothers t-shirt.
That's it.
Yeah. And you're like,
That's it.
You're like, so specific.
Too eerily specific. Yeah, I wonder if those ever worked out. They might have worked out for somebody.
I hope for somebody. I hope at least somebody got coffee with somebody.
But for every time it worked out, it definitely resulted in at least 10 stalkers.
There's a lot there.
Yeah.
That, but who knows? Maybe it helped the stalker stop stalking. You know,
I just got to get it out.
Yeah, maybe they're like, if she only knew we'd be soulmates, I'm going to send it out and I'll trust that the universe, you let love go, it comes back. I hope.
Yeah.
You know?
And stalkers don't always let things go, but I hope.
They, yeah, they're not great at it.
They're not.
They're not. What about you? Misconnection.
Oh, no. I don't have any.
What? Come on, you've got a.
No, that was for you. That was for you.
Come on, give me your best misconnection.
Oh my gosh. There you were.
Yeah, I love the tone we're getting. I love that.
Okay. There was a time when Katie and I went on a date, and we were driving by, and we saw a man with a raccoon on his shoulder.
Married or not married dating?
We were married.
Okay.
Yep. We were married, and we were near the Ohio River in Indiana along the Louisville Loop, where there goes there or not. So we see him, we stop, we talk to him, we find out, he's memorable. For one, he had a raccoon on his shoulder.
Yeah.
And it was pretty clear, like, where are you staying at? Like, he just points into the woods. Uh-huh. And I, of course, didn't forget, but the reason it's burned into my memory because, like, 6 months later, George Rogers Clark cabin in Indiana is arsoned and burned completely down.
Yeah.
George Rogers Clark cabin. So this is the cabin of the brother of...
Lewis and Clark.
Yeah, but which one? Clark.
Clark. But...
What's his name? It's Clark. You know the guy.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And so, and he lived there, too. Clark lived at this cabin and stayed there for some point before they went out and went west.
Yeah.
The thing is gone now because
they have burnt to the ground.
When we see the news, they have security footage of somebody who was seen near the cabin, and it is our raccoon fella.
Oh my God!
Did he have
the raccoon on him?
No, he didn't have the raccoon on his shoulder.
He left
but he was doing one of those, like he's walking away, looking over his shoulder, like almost like the Bigfoot kind of thing. You know what I mean? He's looking back. They're like, that's the guy. He pointed in the woods. He lived near the cabin, or in the cabin, or was building something for warmth. I don't really know, but the cabin's gone, and he is in jail. But even for one fleeting moment, he stood. Raccoon perched. I said, nice raccoon. He stood there with a raccoon on his shoulder, reminiscent of Davy Crockett. A coonskin cap, you could say. He didn't say much, but in so many ways that said it all, because when I said, where do you live? He said, west, son. His boots were aged, older than you and I. The soles well-traveled along that God-forsaken wilderness. I can only imagine if that fire burned like my own desire in my own heart to once again meet my mystery conquestor.
Bro, that's poetry.
All right. That was awful. I didn't know you were gonna give me that, but man, that's true. That happened, and I won't forget that guy. Hope he's doing all right. So I think I wanted to believe that he was just trying to like stay warm, but apparently he had a little bit of some arson tendencies.
Yeah, that's the report I read.
You remember this? You remember this? Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Yes. Well,
Happy to meet him though.
I love his moment of purity of saying, raccoon, you have to stay here. I won't let you be an accomplice. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes. I just picture that dude being like, no. I've got to do this, but you...
I'm on my own journey.
Stay here. Love the woods. Tell them what happened here in your raccoon voice. Like, why did he have his raccoon with him?
Leave it. This is our hope for a better tomorrow. I love it. This is blazing inferno.
Yeah. I mean, why wouldn't you take your raccoon?
Go west.
Yeah. Free yourself from the trappings of this world.
It's amazing. I it's so sad that Kevin's gone. But, I hope he's doing all right. And if you ever see a man with a raccoon on his shoulder, just stop and talk.
Yeah.
It doesn't take much.
You know?
You know what I mean?
My Uncle Golden Hawk, he had a pet raccoon.
Yeah, Golden Hawk has a pretty good nudge towards owning a raccoon.
Yeah. Yeah. He doesn't have a raccoon anymore. He's gone back to his white name of Tommy. But he did join a reservation and change his name to Golden Hawk. And he did have a pet raccoon, and he lived in a school bus. And I hope people talk to him.
I hope people talk to him. I do. I think we need to really reflect on some unnatural tendencies of our white
that's
heritage.
What this is. Strange things white people do.
That's next episode, so join us next time on Tim and Joe's Awesome Podcast.